stream. Hey, I'm checking it out right here. If y'all are here, welcome to my live stream. Welcome to Nerd Coach Studios live stream. Trying my best not to have what happened yesterday happen, because how can you have a night like tonight and not talk about this live? On SummerSlam Night 2, they made SummerSlam history. Remember, we're in the first ever two-night SummerSlam. John Cena's last SummerSlam. Can Cody and John Cena have a better match than they did at WrestleMania? Like the 20, what was it? The 25-year anniversary of TLC. A lot was happening on this show, and I have to say that I think they delivered better than night one on this show. I have to say I think they delivered better than night one on this show. So I am trying on my new computer. I got the stream going. There may be a couple moments of lag, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was yesterday, where I had to shut the whole thing down. Okay. So as of right now, I think things are working pretty good. So I'm glad to welcome back, because guys, Brock Lesnar is back. Y'all see, I got the Brock Lesnar shirt on. First of all, this Midnight Stadium had the Brooklyn, my Brooklyn Nets hat on. Brock Lesnar is back. The Beast, Brock Lesnar is back. That wasn't on my bingo card for SummerSlam. Honestly, a lot of people were talking about The Rock. And was The Rock come out there because Cena gave a little nugget like, hey, I'm turning back babyface. And Friday, maybe The Rock legends, he's so to The Rock. But it looked like The Rock don't fuck with the storyline at all, because The Rock has not been nowhere to be seen since Elimination Chamber. And if you watch a little bit of W Unreal, I'm sorry, I can see the potential between Triple H. Okay, so I'll talk about more of that in the podcast. But Brock Lesnar's back. He came to attack John Cena. I don't even know what this means. I really don't even know what this means. What's this going to mean in the future for Brock Lesnar? If Cena and Lesnar going to do Clash of Paris? Really? I don't think so. Survivor Series? Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, did it bring the shock value? Because honestly, the Cena Cody match was, let's hit John Cena's greatest hits. That's basically what the match was. Let's hit John Cena's greatest hits, right? So I was thoroughly shocked. So I said, I got to come up here and we got to try to go live. So I'm going to do the best I can. I hope you guys bear with me. I'm going to sit there, not try to do a lot of movement and stuff like that, because that can delay the camera and OBS, because, there are some frame droppers that we're going to be having. And once again, I need an audio visual person, to be honest with you, to really figure out how to do this stuff like that. But as of right now, we're doing okay. Not great, but we're doing okay. 6-match SummerSlam card. I did put all the gimmicks on this night, and I felt as though that it needed a balance. It needed a better balance than night one had. And honestly, from seeing it, I was telling myself that they really should have took some of the gimmick man. Like, I think Lyra Valkyria and uh, Solo Sikoa and Jigga 2 could have been on night one, and you could have had Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn and the women's tag team title match on night two to help break it all up. Because the way the way I saw it was, what happened with Becky and Lyra tonight, which I'll get into, is what problem was having gimmick matches back to back and to follow that TLC match. And they couldn't do that. And I felt as though out of all the Becky and Lyra matches that they had, this was the worst one. I take, I know, but I will get to that. And I felt as though you do, unfortunately, you need some breathing room, some ebbs and flows and like that. And it was like basically all gimmick matches here. But we're about to get all up into that. So guys, this is your SummerSlam Night 2 review, brought to you by me on Nerd Coalition. Once again, I do apologize if the frames are dropping a little bit or anything like that, but please stay tuned, stay with me. Make sure you guys post down in the comments in the live chat as well while I pull up my notes. I know it's just me rocking out by myself today because of how I'm trying to figure out this live stream and stuff like that. But I do hope that my team, like Q Flow and Quattro and all of them, is down up in there, and all my other friends that is watching, and of course all my subscribers stuff like that is watching down there too. Okay, so let's get up into this because we had a lot to talk about. I took a lot of notes. I was like, I felt myself taking more notes than I did for last night's show. Okay. So they kicked off with the women's triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship, which was, it was like, okay, we're doing the WrestleMania 41 match again, but with Naomi. Okay. And I was like, Naomi is more than capable doing, of doing that. So it took out Bianca, it took out, put Naomi, took out one black one for the other black one. You know what I'm saying? So let's see how this is going to go. So EO came out, Rhea came out first, and EO Sky came out. EO came out first, and Rhea, and then Naomi came out. Naomi came out with her father, who was apparently a musician. I don't know. Like I never knew her dad was a musician, to be honest with you. But apparently, according to my code, I think he played for Cool the Gang, maybe Gap Band too. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a guitarist. So he came and played the music to the ring. Now, nice moment. Don't mean Def Rebel shit don't suck. Okay, because I still don't. The TLC match with all them teams coming out was just like, oh my god, the music is so bad. It's really bad. Okay. So we start with triple threat matchup, and at first, like Naomi's just like y'all two fight, and Rhea and Io like, nah, we ain't doing that. Io tries to the outside of the ring. Io cuts off from one side, Rhea cuts off from the other side. They'll go back into the ring, and they just start kind of like chasing her around, and they kind of like start beating up on Naomi. Then there was a nice spot here where Rhea had Io in a DDT position. Naomi does the springboard kick, hits Rhea, and she DDTs Io. So that was fun. I thought that was fun too. Then let Io and Rhea double team on Naomi. Io hits a 619 on Naomi, and she falls back into a German suplex by Rhea. Then that takes Naomi out for a minute. Now Io and Rhea start going at it just by themselves. And then Io gives Rhea a poison rana. This poison rana, like the way Rhea bounced off her head, I was like, yo, please make sure she's okay. We don't need Rhea to be no injured. Please make sure she's okay. And then Io goes out, but Naomi, she's back in the ring. And she goes for a Naomi does a little leg slide underneath there. She falls right into a kick by Rhea Ripley. Then Rhea gave Io a Razor's Edge. Every time Rhea gives Io a Razor's Edge, the way Io just folds up, because Rhea don't even come down with it. She just like throws Io with it. And every time they do it, it's amazing. It's something you gotta go see. Then after she does the Razor's Edge, she gives Io a power bomb, and they go for a cover. Naomi pulls off Rhea, and Rhea and Naomi fight on the outside, but then Io hits a moonsault and takes out both of them. So now Io goes to the top rope, and then Rhea takes her down. Naomi comes and she kicks Rhea down. She kicks Rhea down, and she hits a split moonsault on Rhea. So they going to do the same spot from WrestleMania 41. Io does a moonsault, but instead of Naomi getting hit like Bianca did, she moves, and Rhea gets hit with the moonsault. So now Naomi gives a strong knee. I didn't mean to cut you. I was sitting there looking at my nose. Naomi gives a strong knee to Io Sky. Now Rhea Ripley goes, she's a real time Naomi, but Io saves them. It saves the pin. Nice near fall. Later, Naomi goes to the outside. Rhea goes, she gives a cannonball to Naomi to the outside, and then she goes back up on the apron. Then Io runs through, gives her a sunset flip powerbomb onto Naomi. I said, that had to suck. Like, that had to suck. So when she does that, she goes in there, and they fights some more, but then Rhea puts the on top rope, goes for the super riptide. She hits it, but then Naomi comes and rolls up Rhea and grabs her tights, and Naomi retains her Women's World Championship, as I suspected, because this is heel Naomi, so you gotta have. She can't give it up just yet. She gotta get some wins under her belt before either Rhea takes it from her or Bianca takes it from Naomi. I don't necessarily know. I've heard people tell me that they think Jay may go heel and that Bianca and Jay may do something. I still think that there is something to do with Bianca and Naomi. And I think as of right now, I really think that Bianca and Naomi can be I think Bianca and Naomi can really do something. I don't know if they're gonna say that for WrestleMania. I don't know what WrestleMania is gonna look like, to be honest with you guys. But Naomi retains, and I thought it was a solid opening match. It's not quite the match from WrestleMania 41 with Bianca in there, because that is one of the matches of the year. If not the match of the year. But it still was a solid triple threat, a solid opener. So I thought it was good. Check my notes here, make sure everything we good. Once again, if I am breaking up, I do apologize about it. I'm trying to, sit there and the frames is dropping a little bit, but we here now. So we got through one match. So we're gonna keep it going because, like I said, yesterday was bad. So stay with me now. Now we're going to, which is one of the, whether you want to call it the fun match, the sports entertainment match, but we got the TLC match. 25 years, 25-year anniversary of the very first TLC match ever at SummerSlam. For those who may not know, if y'all thinking about it, what they had at WrestleMania 2000 was a triangle ladder match that involved tables and chairs, but it was still considered a ladder match. TLC SummerSlam 2000 is when the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian had the first ever TLC match made by Mick Foley. Remember, TLC tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my! So in the crowd, they had the Dudley Boys. And the Dudley Boys, and Devon was with him this time because Devon wasn't with him with TNA. So Devon was with him this time. And, Bubba did the chant and had to get the tables. And then, of course, they had the Hardy Boys on the other side. So, but they couldn't have Edge and Christian because, they were for AEW. So you knew that was going to happen. So we have the TLC match. In this match is DIY versus the Wyatt Six versus the Street Profits versus Mo City Machine Guns versus Andrade and Phoenix versus Faxion. I understand Phoenix just got there, and I know we could, but it would have been so cool to put the Lucha Brothers together, for this. But I understand they're saving that. They're saving that. So when I tell you this match was crazy, this match was crazy. Okay, here we go. So what I have here, everybody is just starting to look at the Y6. And they attack the Y6. By the way, it's Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy that's doing the Y6 stuff. The Street Profits tried to they have a ladder in the match. They have a ladder balance on the ring ropes. They tried to do a shoulder back toss to Joe Gacy on the ladder, but he completely misses the ladder and rolls out the ring. So Street Profits is like, all right, you know what? We fucked that spot up. Let's run it back and do it again. They actually go out there and get Joe Gacy, bring him back in, and do the spot again and shoulder back and toss him on the ladder. And then on the outside, they set up 4 tables. Can I tell y'all something? I understand that we have to do the Slim Jim ads. I understand that we have to do the Fireball, and we have all this promotion we got to do because of TKO and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, is it an eyesore? Yes, it is. But can I just say one thing? The one thing WWE has never done, I have never seen done in wrestling, is they have drilled in holes on tops of the tables so you can stack the tables now. So if you pull that table out, you already know what spot is coming because they're going to stack the tables on there. I was just like, is that a little much? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm being the old man, get off my lawn, get off my wrestling, don't change my wrestling. But I was just like, they really got the. Maybe it's safer. I can't even get mad at that. I can't even get mad at that. But damn. So they set up the anyway. They set up which I call the bubble spot, which is you got the four tables on the outside of the ring, and somebody's gonna fall off the ladder down through them tables. Bubba did it first at SummerSlam. Then him and Matt did it at WrestleMania, and then I always call that the bubble spot. So Phoenix tries to run up. Like they're both in the ring. Phoenix tries to run up Andrade's shoulders, doing some straight crazy Phoenix shit, and grab the championships from the ground. I was like, "Whoa, that would have been insane!" But uh, Prophet stopped them, and Phoenix and Andrade both get the three amigos to the Prophets. Johnny Gargano there's a table bridge, table on the outside, like tail bridge, and Joe Gacy is on there, and Johnny Gargano does his springboard DT to Joe Gacy through the table. This is the beginning of the like table spot, okay? Because it's like one after another, like dominoes. So as soon as Johnny Gargano does a DDT to Joe Gacy, Dexter Loomis is on the other side. He's on the top rope. Montez is out there on a table, and he does a leg drop or back senton to Montez. It looks insane. Then on the other side, going down towards the announce table, like where Logan Paul jumped off at, we have Phoenix going to the top rope, and and then Nathan Frazier's on the table on the outside, and Phoenix does a huge frog splash from the top rope to the outside through the table. We're not done yet. Go to the top rope near the ramp. And now you have Chopper that's on the table, and here go Dawkins gonna try to get up and go. I said, we don't need no more top dollar stuff, bro. Don't fly. And then Axiom comes and kicks Dawkins down, and Axiom gives him the Spanish, gives Dawkins a Spanish fly off the top rope through these two tables. Everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? It was insane. Like I was like, it was just like one after another. They was doing some high ass spots in this one. High ass spots. Like you were thoroughly entertained. So after everybody's down, and so they do the WrestleMania 17 spot. They have their, whether it be the girlfriends or the ones that part of the team come in and help them out. So Candice LeRae comes out and she goes like, "I'm gonna help her grab the belts." She tries to climb up, and then B-Fab comes out. And B-Fab comes out about the Profits. Let me tell y'all something. I didn't even know B-Fab was still fucking with the Profits. Like I didn't even know. Like she be with me and him. I'm like, what? Well, because we just had to, her coming in. So she gives like Cancer like kind of like a rock bottom, if you want to say that, or Uranagi off the ladder. Then she starts to climb the ladder to get the belts, and then here come Nikki Cross and Michael Cole, who's terrified by Nikki Cross. That little witch, that little grudge, what you call grudge, want to be. She comes up and she takes down B-Fab. So now Candice LeRae fights her off, and now she going up, but she's touching the belts. So Johnny Gargano is holding the ladder, and Chopper's making sure nobody gets in. I'm like, Candice LeRae literally has her hand on the belts. And then Montez Ford comes in, and he gives like a little step-up kick to Chopper, who falls back into Gargano, falls into the ladder, and Candice LeRae falls off and takes a ladder bump, a ladder bridge bump. And I was just like, when my son was watching, he was in shock. Now, for those wrestling fans out there that know that they're out there, y'all know Candice LeRae is extreme. Okay, like Candice LeRae has taken some crazy bumps that you wouldn't expect a lot of women to take. Like Candice LeRae is also known for getting thumbtacks put her mouth for getting super kicked by the Young Bucks. Like she has taken some bumps. So her falling off there and taking the ladder bridge bump, I was just like, yikes. I was like, I was expecting that. And even Gargano looked like he gave it the thumbs up, like, okay, baby, you're all right. I got one of these belts though. Which is kind of funny. Now they get taken out. Now the Street Profits are trying to come in, but Eric Rowan is in there. Now Eric Rowan starts attacking the Street Profits, but then they fight back and they sit there and they wail. And I mean wail on Eric Rowan with these chairs. like pop, 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 pop. Like they keep doing that, and then after that, Eric Rowan just gets up like he kind of no sells it. So then they have a table set up in the corner, and they spear Eric Rowan through the table. Now later, Ciampa climbs up and he gets the belts, but then they take the ladder from Ciampa, and now he's hanging there. Now, last time Ciampa was hanging there, he was over the table, and Dawkins speared him off the top, kind of like how Edge speared Jeff Hardy through the table. And they were set up for that spot again because he had a ladder in the corner. Nathan Frazier climbs up that ladder, and he was just like, okay, Nathan Frazier's going to spear Ciampa, right? So this was insane. Nathan Frazier goes to spear Ciampa. Ciampa pulls himself up, and it's like hanging upside down on the belts while Frazier goes for the spear, rolls through off the ladder. Nathan Frazier is insane. He does that. Gargano's on the bottom. He fights Gargano. He goes for a springboard moonsault, and Gargano hits him with the super kick. And I'm like, it takes you back to NXT where Adam Cole and Ricochet, who did that thing perfectly. He did the moonsault, and Adam Cole gives him a super kick right there as he's rotating for the moonsault. Johnny Gargano did the same thing with Nathan Frazier. It was dope. So now, Ciampa pulls himself back down, and Gargano puts the ladder under there, and then he sits down. Now they both on the ladder. Gargano goes to climb with him, but then here comes Uncle Howdy. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna real quick turn this fan off a little bit. Things causing interference in the video. I apologize real quick, y'all. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. I thought it was like probably calling interference with the video, so I apologize for that already. So Uncle Howdy comes in. Uncle Howdy pushes DIY off the ladder. They take the bubble spot. They both fall through the tables on the outside. And now Uncle Howdy's up there trying to get the belts. But then Andrade and Phoenix come back. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't even know when they set up this ladder that was bridge from the ladder to the ropes. But Andrade climbs up Uncle Howdy, and he does a sunset power on Uncle Howdy onto that ladder bridge. And Phoenix tries to climb, but then Dexter Loomis comes, takes him off the ladder. They get the suplex powerbomb combo. Joe Gacy climbs up, and they retain the tag team titles, which I thought, in my prediction, I thought was going to happen. Would it be nice to see somebody different? Because they got to do more with the Riot Six, because the Riot Six doesn't really do much of anything other than just be scared. So they got to do some more with the Riot Six, to be honest with you. I guess them having the tag team titles is a way that they try to make them interesting. Just to say the least, maybe. But neither here or there. That match was awesome. I enjoy the creativity in that matchup. I enjoy what they brought to the matchup. It was dope. That was a good TLC. I'm not saying it's the best TLC, but that was a good TLC that I felt as though was worthy of the 25th anniversary of what they did. Now, with it being 6 teams, there were some teams that did not get the shine. Like I want to see shine more, like Motor City Machine Guns. I, I felt as though, like even when they came out, the crowd was kind of quiet because the crowd don't really know who they are. If you don't watch TNA, like I'm talking about knowing, not new TNA, I'm talking about TNA. You know who Motor City Machine Guns are, but Triple H has not done a great job showcasing them. I mean, SmackDown Tag Team Division is hot, but they can be so much better, right? So I felt as though they came out to, it's kind of quiet for them when they came out. So I was kind of hoping that, they get to showcase a little bit more. And the things that Phoenix can do, he was limited because once again, you have 6 teams, so you got to be able to. Everybody got to have a moment to get their shit in. But I still thought it was a good match, and it sucks whoever had to follow that, which happened to be the Women's Intercontinental Championship. No count out, no disqualification. Lyra Valkyrie versus Becky Lynch. And this is when I felt the show didn't go down for me, but I'm going to explain to you why I felt as though this was not their best match, especially with the one with the gimmick, stuff like that. So Becky comes out to the music. I forgot who was the one that's doing her music for her. but she comes with the new music. Hold on, I'm checking it out. Also, what we got going on here. Mm. Make sure if y'all can still hear me, or if y'all got any issue with the chat, I understand. Like there's some lag going on. There's some drops going on. I'm looking fine on my screen right now, but just making sure that everybody is cool out there. All right, let's get back to it. Becky has new music, right? And they fight on the outside. Becky grabs a kendo stick, and Lyra grabs a crowbar. So they have a standoff. And then they try to swing, and then Lyra obviously crowbar beats kendo stick. So then Becky's like, "Yo, please, please don't swing. She tried to kill me." So then she goes and swings, and she hits the steel steps, and it hurts her hand. And then, but Lyra hits the crossbody to Becky on the outside. Then also, Lyra hits a drop kick to Becky, and falls like into the announcer's chair. And then Lyra pulls out a table, and she sets the table up, and it's like she sets it up on the outside. Becky comes from behind with a steel chair, and she she like throws her to the steps. Becky goes off on Lyra with the kendo stick, and Becky pulls out a toolbox and another chair. She has a drop toe hold to Lyra on the open chair. And also in the ring, she has two open chairs. Anyway, Becky hits Lyra with the toolbox for two. Then Becky pulls out some zip ties, and she ties Lyra's hands up with these zip ties, right? And then she starts hitting like Lyra with a wrench. She gives her two explosive suplexes. Then she hangs her on the turnbuckle on the outside. This is very Cena Orton from was it Breaking Point or when they had that Anything Goes Iron Man match, and Orton had Cena hanging from the post, and he just started wailing on him with the kendo stick. That's what it was like. Or how in Hell in a Cell, Xavier Woods was hung up on the turnbuckle, and the Usos was wailing on him with kendo sticks. That's what it was like, right? So she goes in on Lyra with the kendo stick and breaks the kendo stick too. Then she puts back in, gives her a leg drop for a 2 count. Lyra then kind of like hugs Becky to gets her arms trapped in with her, and she hits her with a couple of headbutts, and she hits her belly to belly. But then what happened is, I don't know if it broke or if her hand just got loose, but then Lyra's hand came out. Like it clearly came out. So Lyra stuffs her hand back into the the uh the zip tie. And I was just like, I don't know. You probably call an audible. They'll probably run the spot back again when Becky gets another zip tie, or the case may be. But yeah, she definitely her hand definitely came out, which I know a lot of people caught that. So Lyra fights back. She gives Becky a no hand moonsault for two. Then Lyra pulls over the turnbuckle pad and attempts to like cut the zip ties. Becky comes in there, slams her to the post across the ring. And then Lyra's underneath the ring. And then she has a fire extinguisher. Now when she comes back out with the fire extinguisher, her hands are clearly tighter. So she went under the ring to tighten the zip tie and came back out with the fire extinguisher. So it was clearly tightened under the ring, right? And then she hits she sprays the fire extinguisher, and then she goes back underneath the ring. And she comes back, and the zip ties are broken. It is broken, and I'm like, okay, what the hell going on here, right? You know what I'm saying? So, sure, whatever. It's one of them, sure, whatever, right? So then I'll make sure I get this right. Oh, she goes outside. Then Lyra drop kicks. Becky tries to go for a chair. Lyra drop kicks her with her drop kick to the outside of the ring to the face, and then she climbs up on the steel steps and gives Becky a Nightwing off the steel steps. That looked like it sucked. All right, that looked like it sucked. And then now we go back in the ring. Lyra tries to attack Becky, but Becky goes into the exposed turnbuckle and then gives her the manhandle slam, one of the worst finishers that Becky does. The manhandle slam through two chairs, but only for a 2 count. So Becky puts Lyra like her neck into the chair and starts ramming her across the table, which then the chair comes like down to her chest area. And then she sets up the chair, like balancing between her and the announce table. and she steps on top of the announce table and then steps on it, and it takes Lyra out. Now she about to go with the crowbar, and she about to hit her, but Becky's holding the crowbar back there. I was like, who's she waiting for? She waiting for Bailey. Bailey was a little bit late coming in there. She comes, and then Becky's like, listen, look, we horsemen, why don't you just go, you know, hit her? And she kept saying, do it, but Bailey didn't do it. So then Becky tries to grab the chain. Her and Bailey starts fighting. Bailey tries to give her a knee, and she flies over the barricade. Meanwhile, Lyra comes out of nowhere off the apron and crashes Becky into that table that she set up, at the beginning of the match. So she brings Becky back in the ring, and Bailey tries to hit Becky with the chain, but Becky's out the way. She hits Lyra, and then she gets manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3. Lyra Valkyria loses. What? Lyra Valkyria loses, and now as long as Becky is the champion, she cannot challenge no more because Bailey kind of indirectly screwed her over, which I think is going to go into a storyline with Bailey. But I figured Lyra gets her championship back, Becky moves to another show and helps out SmackDown, but that's not the case here. I was shocked. I really had so far. I was 2 for 2, but then this would be 2 for 3 because I swore up and down if I was betting Live Valkyria, man, I thought she would have had this. She should have been like, minus 1,000. I thought that's what was going on, but Becky retains. So I'm curious to see where this is going to go now. And this is going to be their way for Lyra either to go heel, which I don't think she should, but to go up against Bailey, it looks like. And I'm like, do I really want to see that rivalry right now? I kind of don't, to be honest with you. Speaking of something that I felt as though was underwhelming, we are going to the United States Championship Steel Cage match between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. I apologize, y'all, because see, we up here in the Northeast, if y'all was at MetLife Stadium, because I'm here in Philly, y'all know it's hot up here. So I'm sorry for that little interference I had, but I feel like to turn that fan back on, y'all. And also gives the live stream a minute to catch up because I can see that there's been some dropping frames again. So give us a minute. Turn it back on for y'all. Before I go out, we halfway there with the review. I'm trying to see who's still up in here. Remember, y'all can post down in the chat also, so we can have some of a conversation, especially afterwards. But I know what y'all getting ready for. Y'all wait for that minute. We almost there. We almost there, right? So let's go into we got the steel cage match, and I appreciate Jacob Fatu coming in that werewolf mask. It looked dope. Soul takes control for the most part, right? Throwing Jacob into the cage and screaming in his face and talking about something. You had a chance, right? So then Soul tries to leave the cage, and Jacob stops him. The Solo goes for a Samoan spike. Jacob Fatu ducks and gives Solo a super kick, and then we go to like the yay boot punch spot, and Jacob starts tossing Solo into the cage. Then Jacob hits 2 mighty moonsaults for 2. Like he hits 2 of them to Solo, and Solo kicks out. And I was just like, what? Like we really gonna give Solo the kick out for that? Okay. And then the MFTs, right? Whatever they call their group, comes down, and it's JC Mateo, Tamatanga, and Talatonga. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Talatonga, the real tall one. And they come down, but then Jimmy Uso comes down, starts super kicking everybody, but then Talatonga throws Jimmy over the table. And the door is open, so Jacob comes to the door. Ruff thinks he'll come out the door, and Jacob just like, "What you think? What the hell you think you're doing? No, close that door. It's all gas, no goddamn brakes." And then sit there, slams the door, and about to go at Solo, but then Solo hits a Samoan spike out of nowhere, only for a 2 count. Solo tries to climb out, but then Jacob Fatu stops him. As he's up top, Talatonga is up there, and JC Mateo and all they're trying to fight. So Jacob kicks them all down, but Talatonga handcuffs Jacob Fatu up to the steel cage, which then they try to get Solo out. So then Jacob Fatu literally just breaks the handcuffs and goes and stops Solo from escaping the cage and brings him back in. And then uh so making sure I got the right time. So then Soul tries to fight Saul. He goes for it a second time, and as he does it, Tyler Tonga slams the door in Jacob Fatu's face, and Soul just wins the match. That was it. Unceremoniously, just won the match. I was like, that's it? Like, I was watching the cage match and saying, that was it? It was underwhelming. To me, even though I thought the Lara Valkyria match was the weakest of the Beck out of them two, which, by the way, I didn't get to say this when I was talking about Becky because I was sitting there worried about, the live stream stuff like that. The reason why I felt as though this didn't work because they had two great wrestling matches, right? And this one just brought a lot of, gimmicks to it. But the problem was it came right behind that TLC match. That's why I said you had to balance it out. The whole Bailey thing I didn't even like in the match, and the finish sucked. And I felt as though it just could have worked out better on another night with a different finish. And Lara messed up on the zip tie spot, so it took things down from that. That's why I felt that way. And this one, it was boring. It was a boring cage match. They didn't really even implement the cage that much. There was no real drama to it. Even when Jacob was handcuffed to it, he just broke out. So it sucked. Okay, I want to say it sucked. It was underwhelming. But then Jimmy Uso sits there and super kicks JC Mateo and Tonga Loa, who puts them in the ring. And the Jacob Fight 2 takes him down. He goes to the cage. He says, "You know what? Let me go from the top." So then he goes from the top and gives them a mighty moonsault while they're standing up in the cage. And he came down his left leg. I was like, please don't tell me he broke that leg. But he seemed to be he popped right back up, so he was good. But I was like, why the hell would y'all do that spot when the match is over? Like, I didn't get that. I was like, why not do that? It could have brought some more drama to the match. We know the steel cage really don't leave nobody out the steel cage, right? But why would y'all not do that spot during the match? Why after the match? So I felt as though it went down a little bit. Now we're going for another make shot. This is what I mean when you got to have something to, balance out the card. And with all the game matches back to back to back to back, I was like, we need to come down. Even though I felt as though this match was actually good, which was AJ Styles taking on Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship match. Now, Dom comes out his match, but once again, a lot of anniversaries here. This is the 20-year anniversary of the custody of Dominic ladder match between Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. And come to think about it, Eddie Guerrero almost been dead 20 years. That is insane. Whew, where's the time go? But yeah, they had the custody of Dominic ladder match where Dom was in that match. So AJ Styles comes out with a lowrider and a tribute to Eddie Guerrero's gear, similar to what he wore at that SummerSlam 2005. If y'all have not seen it, check out that SummerSlam 2005. That was a pretty good SummerSlam, but that match between Eddie and Dom, the ladder match, that was a pretty good match. A real good match for custody of Dominic. That's top Eddie Hill run right there. So I didn't really care for the first half of the match because I was sitting there. I was like really getting food, going to the bathroom like that. And I hated to use the AJ Styles match for a bathroom break match. But I still think when I came down, it was good because later on, Dom goes for a three amigos. AJ reverses it to a brain buster. And then AJ goes for a frog splash with missions. He shouldn't do that. Even though he can. AJ has done frog splash before. But he goes for it, but he misses. Dom hits a 619 to the frog splash. But then AJ, when Dom comes down, he kicks Dom in the leg and turns it into a calf crusher. So then Dom takes off the turnbuckle pad and gets a chair. No, I'm sorry. Did he take a turnbuckle? I can't remember that. He did get a chair. And then he hits. Oh, he turns the turnbuckle pad to distract the referee. Referee puts the turnbuckle pad on. He gets hits a chair in the ring, and tries to do the Eddie Guerrero, tries to do his dad stuff, right? But AJ was like, no, I'm hip to it. He puts the chair around his neck and he falls down, but he give the divine leg shake. The little divine leg shake. I every time I see somebody do the divine stuff, I think it's hilarious. So AJ Styles, he does that, and the ref's like, I don't know who is to blame here. So they go back to fighting, which I was like, okay, this is kind of a blown up spot a little bit. They go back to fighting. Dom gets in the calf from AJ, but then his shoe falls off. It was giving me credit for WrestleMania 20. If you know, you know. It gave me credit for WrestleMania 20. So AJ tries to go and hit Dom. Dom ducks. He almost hits the referee, but then Dom hits him with the boot. And then he goes and gives him a frog splash. And 1, 2, 3, Dom beats AJ Styles. I still think that Dom will lose the title to AJ Styles, but it showed that Dom unzipped the boot because he knew AJ was going to go back for that calf crusher, and it was pure Eddie Guerrero. It was pure WrestleMania 20 Eddie Guerrero. So for him versus Kurt Angle, that's the first thing I got from it. So it was a decent match. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it better than the cage match. And you would think I like the cage match more. I enjoyed that better than the cage match. But then this is what we're getting for the main event. So look, we this main event was long, and we're going to have to talk about it. I think John Cena and Cody Rhodes both said we need to make up for the shit we put on at WrestleMania this year because their WrestleMania main event sucked. It's probably up there with some of the worst WrestleMania main events that they have done, and that sucks too, right? Because Cena and Cody was mad boring at WrestleMania, mad boring. So I was looking forward to seeing what was going to happen with this. Was there going to be, uh, I would say, like, how was the match going to go? It's a street fight this time around. Was The Rock going to come back? Was Cena telling the truth about him trying to jump a new leaf? A baby face. Well, I'll tell you this. Let's get comfortable. Let's talk about the main event, right? Cody comes out. He has a nice saying from his dad. It's from the Titantron. I don't remember the words. I have time to write down everything he was saying. But he comes out on the Cody Vader, and he has the gold skull mask. And it was cool. Like, Cody got a nice reaction until Cena came out. And Cena started off with the whole dark and with John Cena going across and being a heel and everything like that. But then all of a sudden, when that thing started up, we got full babyface John Cena. Full. Okay? I'm just making sure, make sure feet coming up because I want you to hear all this. But we got full babyface John Cena. We got the music, we got the lights, we got everything from John Cena. It was actually dope. We even got him talking to student cameraman, had the towel out there, runs to the ring. Everybody, he's mad over, right? He comes down there clearly Cody's the heel in this matchup, right? And Cena comes down there, the fans are all in the scene, and he's all 100% back to babyface mode. Like, seriously. And I was like, how long is this going to last, right? How long is this going to last? So they get the entrances, and they just stay each other down. They start with hugging, and then Cena's telling him something to ring, like basically, "Hey, listen, this is it. Let's go." And then they start wailing each other and start hitting each other. And Cena walks over to Tyrese Hatboro, who's out. I say his name wrong all the time. Who's out there in the crowd, and he says that you can't see me and grabs one of his crutches. Remember, Tyrese was still injured. That the ACL sprain that happened in the finals. Yeah, so he was so injured. He grabbed one of his crutches, and then he beats Cody Rhodes, with the crutch. Like, breaks the things is over with. So then there are some steel steps in the ring that when Cena got thrown into him to take him down. Cody slams Cena onto the steel steps, like a scoop him on top of the steel steps. And Cody goes to the tie rope, and Cena pushes him off the tie rope. Now Cena, like, literally, when I say this match was like John Cena's greatest hits in an echo chamber, Like everything you've seen in John Cena's big time matches, like he had a DVD out like that was called John Cena's big time matches. You saw in this match. See the picture of the stairs. And if I don't know if y'all remember the last man standing match from John Cena and Bray Wyatt back at Payback, where he had the steel steps. Back, I think he was a little bit stronger, and he had the tops of them also. And he just launched him out of Bray Wyatt right to his face when he outside the ring. Well, that's what they did with Cody. Now, these steel steps were the bottoms, not the top. So I think it was a little bit more heavier, but Cena still got up there and tossed it out to Cody. And I was like, oh snap, that was crazy. Uh, Then we go back in the ring. Cody hits a disaster kick to Cena. A little later, both men grab chairs. They hit each other in the hand, and Cody hits Cena for two. Cody puts a chair up in the corner and bounces it, but then Cena throws Cody to the corner with the chair, and then does his little shoulder. Does the Cena warm. He does the shoulders and everything, and then does the five knuckle shuffle, and then goes for the AA for two. Or he goes for AA, but Cody gets out. He hits the bionic elbow. Hits the Cody cutter for two. After that, Cena hits another AA for another two count. Then Cody goes up to top rope and Cody says, "You know what? I watched Terry Funk matches lately. Let me give y'all the Terry Funk moonsault." As what it was, Terry Funk had like this little awkward moonsault. It's like he was kind of like falling with style, right? As he was. So he gives him that kind of moonsault. Later, Cody in the match gives Cena a pile driver and it's only for two. Now, Cena plays possum and the pile driver is an AA on Cody. Then they do the yay boot punches and then hits the STF on Cody. But Cody goes to the outside because there's no rope breaks. We're in a street fight, right? Goes to the outside and Cody tosses Cena over the barricade, like where the timekeeper's area is at. As soon as Cody goes to go attack Cena, he gets hit with the microphone. And then he's selling his head like getting hit with a microphone. Cena comes out of nowhere and hits a cold red on Cody on the floor. A cold. I remember when I used to see Cena do the cold red. He was just doing his United States Championship run in 2015, 10 years ago. So I was like, hey, he even Cena shot like, yo, pull that off. Like, aren't y'all happy? Pull that off. Bro, I'm happy for you. You hear me? I'm happy for you. So Cena was shocked. Cena gives Cody an AA. He gets up on the announce table. Like, he's feeling himself down. He clears up the announce table. He goes up on the announce table, picks up Cody, and gets some AA through the announce table. I was like, yeah, well, we're going to make sure that table breaks this weekend, right? So then he goes back into the ring, and then Cody hits a crossroads, but there's only 4-2 count. And Cena fights back. Cena then goes and says, you know what? Pull out all the hits. He goes and does his diving leg drop, which has always been a hard move that Cena has always done, no matter in shape, young, old, strong, weak, it don't matter. It never looked good. But Cody took it in the back of the head. He hits the diving leg drop. And then he hits another AA for a 2 count. So then Cena grabs the table, sets it up in the ring, and tries to AA Cody to the table. But Cody kicks the table out the way, hits him with the DDT. Sets the table up in the corner. Then they try to jump to the table, but then they end the fight goes to the outside. Now they go fight into the crowd. Now they're fighting into the crowd. Everything is good. Cody even throws a trash can to Cena. Cena catches it, throws it back. Then they got those big metal old school gates that they have. They hit each other with it, and then we got to do another Johnson thing. He used to do this a lot with Rusev. When Rusev was feuded, they did this when it was like the spot on the gate where there was a gate leaning up from the floor to like this platform, and Cody hits a suplex to Cena on that gate. Him and Russo used to do that all the time. So I was just like, okay, we really get all the Cena hits out there. So they sit there and fight, and now they're up by the stage area, and then they go underneath the stage, and I was like, well, can we get the cameras on there? But I thought this was one of the coolest shots of the match because you see the smoke coming from the Cody Vader and the lights, and as it's coming up, John Cena is holding Cody Rhodes, is looking around in the AA position as he's coming up. I was like, bruh, that was a thumbnail until what happened later. Right. Let me get some water for this one. I apologize. I know I should have more live etiquette here, but I don't have the way my live stream is going, the way the frames are dropping. If I put up a placeholder to block me drinking that water, it may flip the whole stream. Okay, so my bad, y'all. But I could have throw it out because we still got a lot to talk about. So as Cena's coming up from the elevator, he sits up and just and launches Cody for AA on the ramp, and I was like, goodness. So, but now you got to put him in the ring. It's a street fight. So he goes and puts Cody on his shoulders and walks him back to the ring. And then as he get into the ring, Cody plays possum himself, takes Cena and throws him to the table he has in the corner. That hits the crossroads, only for a 2 count. So then Cody goes and unscrews the bottom turnbuckle, the whole rope. And I was just like, are we doing the Umaga spot from Royal Rumble 2007? Where he had that last percent match with Umaga, and we did. Now, Cody hits him with the bottom of the ring post 2 times. He goes for it again, but then Sid puts him in the STFU with the rope. Same as he does Umaga. Now he didn't do it as hard as he did with Umaga because he literally almost killed Umaga that night. He really did because Umaga legit passed out. So he didn't do it that hard to Cody, but he definitely had the ring rope around his throat. So Cody gets out of it and like they stand up and then Cody hits 3 crossroads. I was like, well, here it goes. You get 3 crossroads. You don't kick out of 3 crossroads. Cena kicked out. Now I was like, oh shit, Cena ain't losing the championship. Like I really felt as though like yo, Cena ain't losing the championship at all. But he kicked out. And Cody goes and hits him with the championship. But that's what Cena did to him. And as he goes forward, Cena hits 2 AAs. Now, Cena's a little bit older. Cena had used to do a thing where he could do the AA and he could roll through it and pick up for another one. He did AJ Styles. He wasn't doing that with Cody. He just, like, Cody, get back up. Let me do it again. And then he hits a super AA. For those who know, he on the middle rope and then he does AA from the top. Cody still kicked out. Listen, I appreciate drama. I appreciate all that stuff in the match to build drama. But when you kick out super finishers, then it's a waste. Like that's the one thing I like. You have to do something drastic to take the opponent down if you're not going to kick out of a super finisher. If you kick out of a super finisher, and they both kicked out of super finishers, and I don't know how I felt about that to be honest with you. So Cena goes and sets up a table for the super A, but then Cody reverses it and hits like I guess a crossroads from the top. It looks like a cross. It looked terrible, but they just crashed through the table. I was like, okay, well, I just equate this to Sheamus 2009 in the table smash with Cena, right? Because Michael called it crossroads, it like a neck breaker, whatever the case may be. Then Cody goes, gives John Cena the salute, then gives him a crossroads. And Cody Rhodes is your new WWE Undisputed Champion. He won the belt back, which was always part of the plan. But and I knew that Cena had to go do a redemption tour because he was not going to retire as a heel. He just was not going to do that. But it was Cena's last SummerSlam. They sit there, hug. Cena gives Cody the title. He tells something to Cody, and Cody, gets emotional. But Cody, gives him the ring. And I was like, okay, well, we know Cena got 4 months. Michael let us know Cena got 4 months. And I was like, he ain't gonna take off the sneaks and put him in the ring and stuff like that. He got 4 months to go, but it was his last SummerSlam, so just to everybody say thank you, Cena, and then it happened. It happened. Didn't see it happen. Brock Lesnar's music hit. I'm doing it. Yeah, I can't do it right. The peace music. My jaw hit the floor. I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on with Brock Lesnar. I don't know what's going on with the Vince McMahon trial. I don't know what's going on with anything, to be honest with you. And I just knew that it was bleeding Brock for a minute. But Brock fucking Lesnar came out there. I really thought The Rock was going to come out there and they was going to do like, hey, you sold your soul to me and then you didn't deliver. And they was going to probably try to squeeze out a Rock and Cena one more time. No, they brought out this 2012 all over again. brought out Lesnar. Cena sitting there staring down, and Lesnar taking sweet ass time to the ring. And I was like, even when he was doing his power was a little late for him because I think they was back there in the power room and they was just like, oh shit, I don't even know what the fuck to do right now. I didn't know Lesnar was supposed to be here right now. Right? So Lesnar walks down, looks dope. Lesnar ain't miss a beat. Got the nice blonde hair going on now, dirty blonde hair, you'll call it, with the cowboy hat on. He just circling the ring. Cena tries to adjust his armband. And Lesnar comes in the ring and straight to the point. We ain't hugging, we ain't kissing, we ain't talking, we ain't saying, hey man, congratulations on your career. He come in there and F5 Cena, it's like it's 2012 all over again. Cena's out and Brock Lesnar just stands over John Cena. And that is the way we end SummerSlam 2025, the first two-night SummerSlam. I'm telling y'all right now, instantly better than night one of SummerSlam. But we got good moments throughout the whole card. Like Seth Rollins played us all and cashed in on CM Punk yesterday. Shawn and Alexa Bliss had an alright match with the tag title. Roman and Jey Uso opened up pretty strong yesterday also. And then we had this. Brock Lesnar coming back. TLC anniversary, 25th anniversary. You know, they had a solid opener with Naomi Rhea and Io. AJ with the A tribute. Overall, it was a good SummerSlam. Yesterday, I would have given it a C. Today, I would give it a B plus, maybe even A. Like with the A minus. It's like, I don't know what the fuck come from this. I don't know what is coming from this. I want some of y'all post down below. What do y'all think is coming from this Brock Lesnar thing? Because man, I I don't know where to go. Like I don't. Cena is probably going to have to get his one more match with Brock Lesnar. Where is that going to be at? Clash of Paris? I'm still thinking like no. Saudi Arabia? Maybe. And then they're not going to say it was for Survivor Series. So it has to be in the Saudi Arabia. I don't think it was Clash of Paris, but it was a shock. Like I wasn't expecting Brock Lesnar, Brock freaking as the beast, Brock Lesnar, to come out there and just F5 Cena. Because now, I mean, it gives the way that now it gives the reason for Cena to be babyface. It also gives a reason for Cody to stay babyface and not turn heel, and it gives John Cena something to do instead of worry about Cody, and Cody can go worry about somebody else. Who would that be? Who I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I just don't know. But it was a shock ending to say the least. I'll definitely say that. I'll definitely say that. How do y'all guys feel about SummerSlam? We can take it to the chat if we can. We got time. If not, I'm going to get ready. We survived this chat. I think we did better yesterday. We actually got through the whole review. And I do know that a lot of frames were dropping on that, but I think we did good. I think we did all right. I appreciate y'all who did stay in the chat with me. I did appreciate that. We're going to get better because let me tell you something right now. Why I want this review. Change is coming in the coalition. And I don't know if y'all have seen it, but in the thumbnail, I have two new logos going up as we throughout this whole week. We were doing changes to the coalition, even to the IG page. If you guys check out my IG page, I got different things coming. We're finally getting off our ass and updating the channel. And I'm finally getting off my ass and doing something with social media because I need to be better at social media. And so I'm trying to get off my ass and work with this live stream stuff so we can sit there and do better live streams because y'all deserve better. And even tonight in here, I was like, man, there's not even that many people that's actually in the chat tonight or even talking because honestly, it just be fucking up. It'd be fucking up. I wouldn't want to be in here neither. But still, we got through this, and I appreciate all y'all for us going through this, man. Because what a night that was! What a way to end SummerSlam on both nights with Seth and then with Brock Lesnar. I'm just so curious about where is this going to go for Cena and everybody else involved. Like that's what I want to know. But overall, I think it was a good show. I think, like I said, I give it a B show. I just still feel as though that they need to break up the gimmick matches because you didn't give no match a time to breathe. And I think if you put Lyra and Becky on night one and had a different finish and not botched throughout the match could have been received a lot better. And I think also if you put the cage match on another night and then you brought over another, let's breathe a little bit match, I think that could have worked out also. You just needed to have something that you can breathe with. You know what I'm saying? But neither here or there. Post any comments down below. How do you guys feel about the return of Brock Lesnar? Hit the like button. That really helps with the video. Hit the like button as well. And also, like I said, new things coming in their coalition. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button and check out my IG page because that's where I'm gonna be posting a lot of the stuff. Also, I'm just trying to get a lot of traction for all that. So make sure you guys go check all that great stuff out. So ain't nobody really much left in here. So we're about to sit here in the chat. I do appreciate y'all staying with me and rocking it out with me. So once again, I was just doing it by myself. So anybody, all my homies out there was watching, I appreciate y'all as well. So once again, man, this is NC the place to be. Jones Mr. A&D. And the Nerd Coalition is out. Stay tuned. Great stuff is coming to this channel. All right. Catch y'all next time.